Hey guys, in today's video, this stock bumper on my Gladiator is getting an upgrade. If you're new here, welcome to the channel and don't forget to subscribe. So the bumper I have chosen is from Body Armor 4x4. Now this bumper is a complete just bolt-on application and it will accommodate your factory trailer plug as well as the factory license plate lights. Another great feature about this bumper is it does have a place for some lights. You can stick a small cube light in there, or if you're not interested in adding lights, it does have a plate to cover up that hole if you don't want to add any lights. Another great feature of this bumper is it does allow for the factory sensors. It has all these holes inside the bumper, so you can take the factory sensors off the stock bumper and just insert them into this aftermarket one. That way you don't lose any of your key safety features when installing an aftermarket bumper. Me personally, my Gladiator doesn't come with that option, so what you can do if yours doesn't is they do have some plugs to just cover up those holes so you don't have any holes in your bumper. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started removing the factory bumper, and then we'll slap this in there and see how it looks. So the first step is, if you have these factory bed guards, they need to be removed. If you don't have them, you can skip this step, but these definitely need to be removed, and let me show you how that's done. So right here, there is this long bolt that goes through. That one needs to be removed, as well as this bolt right up here. And there is a second one and this bolt right up here on the opposite side. Also, there's going to be a couple of bolts that go into the bumper right up here. You're going to need to remove these two bolts as well, and this whole bed guard should come out of the way. So next up, we need to disconnect any wiring that is leading to the rear bumper. Depending on your model, it might be different, but mine here, all I have is my trailer plug and the plug that runs to my license plate light. Now it looks like we can just disconnect it off the back of the light over here, but honestly I think it'll be much easier if I pull these Christmas tree fasteners and there is an additional plug up here, and then I can just transfer everything over to the new bumper. For the trailer wiring plug, this is just a big plug. It should have a tab and you should be able to just pop it right off and let that hang for now. So with our plugs disconnected and loose, and we know we're not going to get them hung up on anything, we can go ahead and remove the two nuts that attach the bumper to the frame on either side. Now be careful when removing these, because at that point, depending on your model, your bumper may not have anything else holding it on, but in my case I still have two more bolts holding it on, so I'm going to go ahead and just zip these off and then move on to those other bolts. Now the last two bolts would be right here behind the license plate, but I did almost forget. There are some Torx head bolts down here that also attach to the hitch. So make sure you remove these while you're down there. So at this point, there should be nothing else holding the bumper on, and we should be able to just slide it out over our tow hooks. And then the last thing we need to do is go ahead and remove these factory tow hooks, because they will not work with the new bumper. And now at this point, the back of your Jeep should look like this. Now it's time to get started on the new bumper. So now is the time to start getting things transferred over. Once again, if you have the factory sensors, you can remove them out of your factory bumper and put them in the new one. If you don't, they do have a little plastic cover so you can cover up those holes. That way you don't have to have a bunch of holes in your bumper. Me personally, I was talking to a buddy of mine and he was talking about, why don't I put some marker lights in there? And I think that that is a wonderful idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and order some red marker lights. Maybe I'll pick some up that also have a brake light function, so it'll give me additional brake lights in the rear. If you want to check out his channel, it's Four Wheeled Adventures. I'll go ahead and leave a link down in the description below. Now with everything transferred over to the new bumper, we need to install these tie-in brackets that they give us. It's just gonna mount right to the top of the hitch here, and they give you hardware to mount it with. We're just gonna loosely install these right now. That way we have some room for adjustment when we put the bumper on. Now in order to mount the bumper, we're gonna have these bolt strips here. We're just gonna reach on in and pass them through. That way they can sit here In order to keep them in place while we lift the bumper in its location, they do give us these plastic tabs. They should just slip right on, and that will hold the bolt strips in place. That way when we go to lift up our bumper, it'll be easy to just locate them and get the hardware started. Now once the bumper is in place, we're going to take this bolt strip right here, we're going to reach underneath and pass it through that hole just like that. And we have some hardware to help attach it. This is what is going to attach to our tie-in brackets that we mounted on the top of the hitch mount. And now it's time to lift the bumper in place. I do highly recommend you have 1 or 2 people help you get the bumper set. You can have one person on either end lift the bumper up while you're underneath trying to align everything. If you're by yourself like me, try not to be. So I'm going to go ahead and heft this thing on up there, try to get it aligned, and get my hardware started. Now that we're all installed, Body Armor does have a kit for new bed guards for a rear rock slider, or you can reinstall the original ones the way that they came off, with one difference. Instead of the bolt actually bolting it to the bumper, you're going to use that factory bolt and then the factory nut that mounted the bumper to the frame. And then you can go ahead and just re-bolt everything up, unless you do plan on adding Body Armor 4x4's body armor. They also have a kit that integrates a side step. That way it attaches to the bumper. It gives you that rock slider as well as a side step, which will help give you easier access to things on the side of your bed rack or into your bed from the rear portion on the side. Now all that's left for me to do is to mount my lights as well as my license plate. Now for the pod lights, the kit is built with some brackets, so that way you can mount some square pod lights back here just like this. Me personally, I've been looking a lot at it, and I really think I want to go a different route. I picked up these flush mount pod lights from Zeus Lighting a while back. Unfortunately, they have gone out of business, so the lifetime warranty on these is null and void, but that doesn't matter. I got a bunch of them. I feel like that there looks a whole lot better, and it's real simple installation. I just got to drill a few holes, bolt it all in place, and then it's a nice permanent mount. And I really like these lights. And now all I need to do is finish wiring my license plate lights and mount my license plate. And then I'm done. So that's going to be it for this video. I know it doesn't look finished, but I want to wait a little bit before I finish mounting my lights because I've got some other things going on. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I'll go ahead and leave a link for this bumper down in the description below. So far, I really like everything that Body Armor 4x4 has to offer. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram at It's Project Venture, as well as the Tickety Talk at It's Project Venture. Thanks for watching.